Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your best friend, my son. You are tuned in to Caliber TV, so get it right. Get it real nice and tight right now. You gotta see everything happening because there's a lot going on right now. My name is my son. I love you.
I'ma be the change that I wanna see. People gon' remember me. I swear it's 19. Money's cool and everything, but I'd rather make a memory.
What's up, guys? You're watching CaliberTV, and today we're here with Mod's son.
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
Best day, night, of my entire existence. I'm loving life. I'm happy to be on the Caliber camera right now.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you released your newest record, Look Up.
Yes.
Earlier this month
you
on your
heard it?
birthday. I have. You released it on your birthday on March 10th.
Yeah, March 10th is my
So
birthday.
how do you feel the response has been from both new and older Mod Son fans?
Friends.
There you go.
What do you think about it?
I thought it was fantastic. I was a big fan of the books. I was stoked it was on there.
The audiobook,
and I was stoked to hear your voice reading it.
My album, like, it's exactly what I heard in my head from when I started. It's what I always wanted to make. It's what I thought that the world, thank you, babe. It's what I thought the world deserved to hear from me. So I'm happy to get it finally out of my head. What comes from here on out, like, I'm just looking forward to like really one person. That's why when I ask you, like, if you listen to it, like, I'm not talking on some like level of like everyone's heard my record, like they haven't. So just hearing one person that's heard it really like means the world to me. So I'm actually trying to hear those opinions, and it's been out for about 2 weeks now, almost 3 weeks, and I'm looking forward to hearing more and more. But I love it. I'm very proud of it. It's the most proud of my the most proud moment of my life is releasing it.
That's what's up. That's really important. That it's significant to you.
It's very significant to me.
And your friends care about it.
That hippie life.
So the last track on the album.
Leave that in. That's tight. I like that shit. Yeah.
He was ready for the kiss on the lips.
The last track on that album is a sequel to your song Same Way.
Yes.
What made you want to particularly choose that song for the second part?
It's the song that like got me to where I am right now. In terms of that song became bigger than me, right? I wrote the words sitting on, love you too, Maya. I wrote the words sitting on the porch of one of my good friends in my hometown. Wrote it completely from a genuine state of view of no one had heard of me before. So I didn't know that people were gonna listen to it. That was the first song of mine to like have 1 million views on YouTube. Like the way I shot the video, I was in New Zealand on tour, and one of my friends was like, yo, let's shoot a video for one of your songs right now. This one, because it was like a gloomy day in the hills. He's like, this one fits it perfect. So we shot a video for Same Way. And that was like my first music video ever, essentially. And it was me standing by a like clothesline, and it just has that vibe where now people have heard of me and I'm aware of that because like I enjoy that.
Yeah.
The point is like I want to add to that. But at that point, no one had heard of me before. No one was like was thinking that I was doing something significant, so it was me really just like doing something for myself. And so Same Way, that song, I didn't write it from the point of view of like I want to touch a place where people can understand me or like feel the same way. I was really writing it for me to feel the same way, so that other people felt the same way. It kind of transcended the song to another feeling of like, well, people feel the same way as me. Right, so it became like its own monster in a way, in a beautiful way, beautiful monster.
Yeah.
I'm a beautiful monster.
How about that song where that girl didn't kill herself because she listened to your music? That was crazy. Like I just heard that. Like
and I'm sure that she heard the
amazing.
song Same Way first to find me. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
So the Same Way was like the one. It was the vehicle that like brought all that kind of in the point of view. It made me realize what I wanted to do, which was make the world just like happy that they woke up in that morning, and you know, make that whole entire day part of a movie that they want to watch.
High five, man.
There you go.
It's all about the positivity. Yeah,
I love
I'm digging it.
There was a few guests featured on this album from a variety of genres, such as Travis Barker. You got Riff Raff on there. You got G-Eazy on there.
Yeah.
So,
Machine Gun Kelly, Dizzy Wright.
how did you decide who all you wanted to feature on this record?
They're all actually friends of mine. All of them were either like at my house at one point, and it just happened, or we had been speaking of it forever. Like, you know what's great is that now, like I'm putting out an album that's for the world and stuff, and you have to go through like all of the people on the album. They have people too that work with their movement and all that. So it goes through all this, like send a thing and sign this. all the things on my album, none of it went through that. It was all like, hey, I'll do a verse for you, you do a verse for me, or hey, come over to my house, smoke some weed, and listen to this song, and get on it. Swear to God, nothing was on some bullshit like, hey, so I really think this song would be great with you. No, it was no suit shit, no fucking 9 to 5 shit. It was literally like, they came over to my house, smoked with me, or they've been friends with me forever, and I did something for them. And so they, like, I shot Machine Gun Kelly's video, right?
There you go.
His video Sale. Like, I shot that at my house, went all out, and he was like, okay, I owe you. I was like, what? Motherfucker, you don't owe me shit. But he was like, I really do. What can I get on this album? And, like, that's how that happened. With Jeezy, I did a song for him called Stay High, like 3 years ago. And he was like, Mod, sign this contract so we can do royalties and stuff like that. And Jeezy's a big motherfucking artist, so like a lot of artists would be like, great. I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna sign nothing, just take it. Like, I'm glad to be a part of it, you know, in turn, you know, fuck with me on something. So that all that is really, it's really real. So when you hear it, nothing's forced, nothing's like, please, this song would blow up with you on it. No, fuck that.
No, it's genuine, it's mutual, it's friendship right there.
Yeah.
So, Look Up also features 5 tracks of you reading your book.
Hold on. Travis Barker, too. Travis Barker, I have posters of him on my wall growing up. All over my wall, okay? All over my entire wall.
It's amazing.
And he was my idol growing up. He was who I wanted to be. And I played drums my whole life. And I had the chance to meet Travis Barker. And I think the biggest like thing in your life is that you should search to inspire your inspiration.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And so we got in the same room, and he wanted to get on a track with me. He was like, Mod, let me get on something. Beautiful stuff. So yes, now the next question.
Okay, so Look Up also features you reading 5 tracks. You know, it's your book. Did I Ever Wake Up?
Yeah.
So what made you decide to put that on the album?
First off was that my inspirations at the bottom of it are poets through all this, and I love musicians. But if you were to now ask me, like, Mod Son is your inspiration, I'm probably gonna name a few poets that people know and a few poets that no one's ever heard about. But that's like my inspiration. And I want to take all my music comes from a standpoint of poetry. Like, my favorite shirt is my skin. I'm in love with myself every time I look into the mirror. I melt. My favorite shirt is my skin. I'm in love with myself. Every flaw is really beauty owned by nobody else. My favorite shirt. Right. That standpoint, that stanza of writing like that, that's poetry. That's how poetry's written. That's how I write my music. Lately, especially, is from poetry standpoint. And to have an audiobook attached to your album, I don't know, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. If you've done it, congratulations. I don't know anyone else who's done it, who's done like an audiobook attached to their album, especially in like a hip-hop, alternative, rock and roll, whatever the fuck kind of music I'm making genre. So I feel like I pushed the boundaries with that, and that was my goal, was to, from an artistic standpoint, like, give something more. So now, people that have never heard my album, I imagine this now, people have never heard my name, didn't know I wrote a book, anything like that, they find my album, then they see this track list, and then they see track number 15 or 16 says, Did I Ever Wake Up Part 1, Did I Ever Wake Up Part 2? They're like, what the fuck is that? Before they get to it, they're like, what the fuck is, he has 5 parts of a song, they're all 10 minutes long at the end of his album. They must be like, that's crazy, what is that? So then they get to it and they hear me talking and like saying this stuff and saying stuff like, when you just turn that last page, that signifies that I'm reading from a book. Then they reach deeper and find out that I wrote a book. Like, yo, I feel like that's kind of maybe the younger generation that's definitely listening to me, because my shows are built of people that are essentially younger than me, and you know, people that are around my age. But I'm like 250, live many lives, and so. I feel like maybe that's the next step, is that people will push themselves artistically as far as they can. And to do something like an audiobook, why is that weird? It shouldn't be weird. It should be beautiful. It should be something that, why do people not write books when we all go to school and we have to read these fucking books? And we're sitting around holding books every day. Why are people not our age writing books? Like, writing books is an old person's game. Why? It shouldn't be.
Intelligent thing.
Yeah, there you go.
So I push people. I encourage you to write a book. Right, I'm about to release a poetry book called My Dear Pink. So you'll see that soon.
So you signed with Rostrum Records last year to release Look Up. They also have Wiz Khalifa, and they used to have Mac Miller. Do you feel any sort of pressure to live up to those artists for what they personally kind of like achieved?
I almost like wish I felt pressure. I don't feel shit. I don't feel nothing. I don't feel nothing like that. And what I'm gonna do is essentially on a plane of like, I feel very accomplished. by myself as I am right now. And I applaud anybody who believes in me to the point that wants to even work with me. I think that's a beautiful thing. I'm inspired by Wiz Khalifa. Very inspired by Wiz Khalifa from when I started rapping. He was at the he was the biggest in the game when I started this, and I'm very inspired by him. And Mac Miller, the same thing. I think he's done amazing things. And I honestly think it'd be cool to feel something like that, but I don't fucking care about selling records and shit.
Yeah.
I just don't fucking care. I realize that. Like, I love really this. Look at there's people standing around like listening to me talk. What the fuck? That's crazy.
You're a good
I don't
storyteller.
care. I do think I do you know, in terms of people listening, and if that comes down to selling records, like, care about that. But I don't feel like pressure to sell anything. I could sell like, listen, if I wanted to, I could really like go into this whole thing of selling stuff, but you don't, that I don't have any interest in that. Like, that doesn't, you know, if you have something really successful at one point, then you know, I was watching Saturday Night Live, which I never do, from like 2001 today, and I was looking at it and like a band played. I'm not gonna say the band played, and they're like momentously huge at that point. Yeah. And I was sitting there watching, like, man, he could be the singer of that band, could be standing in whatever. I was standing in RV watching. He could be standing in whatever, watching the same thing and going, "Oh, that was the good old days." And I'm like, that's like bullshit. Like that would not be. I don't advise that for someone to have a peak. Like, you know, I don't want anyone to have a peak. I don't think that my debut album should like fucking sell 1 million records. Like, off top, like, that should not be my peak. Yeah, okay, I love that. Great. Yeah, thank you. Because it's good. I put a lot into it, but I'm not looking at this to like have some peak of like, wow, excellence. Like, I'm gonna get better and better every single day. The show you saw, thank you, and the show you saw tonight, the show and play tomorrow is gonna be better. I'm not saying that in terms of anything else. I'm just saying that I'm gonna get better every day, every single day. The best I'm gonna ever be is the last day I live. You know.
That's what's important. So the Look Up tour is wrapping up here soon.
Yeah.
And your next big tour is going to be your run on Warped.
Warped tour.
Yeah. So what can fans expect to see from you on Warped?
Well, that's really a good place for me to be, because Warped Tour is all about energy and, you know, that type of shit. Punk rock and all that. And I believe punk rock still exists. Yep. And I believe that my show in there tonight was like punk rock. And I'm not talking to the enthusiasts that are like The Clash and Ramones and CBGBs are the only punk rock that live. No, motherfucker, like, the energy's still there. So I think that I'm a great fit on Warped Tour, and that I'm going to be one of the people that you like definitely want to see that day. You know, out of all the people you can see that day, I think that we're gonna be one of the people that everyone's like, oh, you gotta see this shit. So
that's what's up. So do you have any last words for your friends out there watching this?
No, these are my first words. These are my first words, and what I can say about tonight is that we had fun. We had fun and we celebrated together, and that the closer I get to the ocean, man, I swear, like, closer you get to the ocean, just the air is just a little tastes a little better. So I'm glad to be back out here in California. I'm gonna be playing at the Roxy in LA in a couple days. So if you see this before then, come on out. If you were here tonight in spirit or physically, I love you. And my name's Marcel, man. I feel like I'm a good person, so I love you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Love y'all.
One hit to leave the whole room fills. I mix like pills. I'm so still like roadkill. Cup so filled, stuff so chill. She all on my coattails. They're so fly, sipping that white.